when you have a tension on it, you have to use the locking binners. But sometimes you don't have a locking binners, and then you will just have to improvise with two binners that are on opposite sides. Yeah. This improvisation pretty much differs from the person to person, depends how you are comfortable with the different systems. Some people are comfortable with just using the carrier binners for everything, and some people are not comfortable with that, and they have to use locking binners or opposite gate binners. So it depends. Okay. Now that we have a load of our partner transferred with the prusik to the anchor, we can untie this. Okay, so be a little bit slippage until the prusik bites, and now you are free to do any kind of rescue that you want. Now you can get out of the system. It's usually the best just to, you can use it, maybe this is going to be the easiest, to transfer it to the anchor with another locking binner. And now you can go and start to release the prusik knot. Now this extra turn, you have to make easier to release it until everything is tensioned. Okay, we have everything near here, but this is one of the points up there in the air. So now you have the person transferred to the anchor, and you are free to proceed with the rescue. If the person is hanging above, then remember that scenario, using two prusik knots, either from this or this small upsell prusik, or you build the prusiks with a sling, like I show you, and then with two prusiks go up to the last point where the person fall, and then prusik down to the person to provide the first aid. Either if the person is under you, then you can, if you have enough rope, upsell down with the rest of the rope, you untie, upsell down, or you use prusiks if you don't have enough rope to go down to the person and provide first aid. One thing to have in mind is, if you are doing this while person is up there hanging, you have to have multi-directional anchor. Because of most of the anchors that we are building to hold down, or we are hanging on the anchor. But if you transfer the person to the anchor while rope is going up, then when you unload with your weight the anchor is going to flip up. So you have to be sure that this anchor can hold it. With bolts, it's not a problem. Bolts are reliable. But if you're building an anchor, let's say, of 2 or 3 stoppers that are tensioned downward, then it's going to pop up if you tension it. Yeah. There is a famous story about a route in Mont Blanc called Divine Providence, because the leader fell and the anchor was not multi-directional, and he took his partner together with the anchor from the ledge and pop out all the protections besides just one camelot, and they were both hanging in it on that one camelot. And then they called the route afterwards Divine Providence. That's how I heard the story. I don't know if it's made up or true, but that's what they say.
But can you explain, when you have situation like this, how you prusik up?
Yes.
You mean up?
Yeah, so you are the second one who wants to rescue me, and how you prusik up?
Yeah, two prusiks. This is the regular prusik. You put one prusik up, one down, you go up. But if you want me to demonstrate, yeah, I can do it.
One you had to put on the leg.
Okay, let's.
You use only this rope, not the rope which is not under the tension, right?
No, for prusik I'm using this.
Okay.
Or this. This rope if I want to prosec, I have to go out of the rope. So the rope of the fallen climber is fixed to the anchor. This is now fixed point, and then I'm climbing this rope. So it's fixed down, it's weighted on the other side, it's tension. And with 2 prosecs, I'm climbing the rope. We can hang a rope and do this this exercise if you want to try that. Okay. When you hang a rope, it's hard to show it here. When you hang a rope, then we will do it in a real situation, so you can see how the tensioning is working. And the one thing is that, just to mention it, maybe when you're prosecing, there are 2 ways how people do it. One is that they extend the prosec which is on a harness higher up, and the prosec which is used like leg loop goes under. And the other way is vice versa, that they're using prosec for the leg loop upper, and then use the short prosec on the harness to be the one on the body weight. In the rescuing situations, you want to have the first scenario. So the prosec from the harness you want to have higher than the one on the leg loop. The reason for that is when you're prosecing down to the, it can be faster, but for prosecing down, it's actually faster to have it shorter, because you can pull it faster. But the thing is, if you have it short, when you reach the person which is below you, then you can't get under that person. You just have, which is really awkward. So we want to have a longer prosec. So when you reach the person, you can go lower and get with your legs under the person. So you can, if it's upside down, you can put it in your lap and then provide the first aid. So this is the one thing maybe to bear in mind. Just make a longer prosec when you're coming down. But we will practice this, so don't worry. Okay, so now in this situation, the person is fixed on the anchor, and now you can proceed. Either prosecing up, prosecing down, upsiling on the rest of the rope if it's enough to reach the person, administer the first aid, and then reassess the situation. Do you have to come down to take this anchor down after you build a new one, or you want to pull up the person back to the anchor? It's up to you and the situation which you're handling. Okay, so this is how to escape the system. Another thing that I want to show you, that you see here before we hit the rock, is the pulling person back to the anchor. If you have the good anchor on the nice ledge and you want to bring the person to the ledge to wait for the mountain rescue, not to leave it hanging down, then there is a system with which you can bring the person up. Okay, I will just rebuild this so it can, actually I can use this. Yeah. So just maybe to mention, if you are doing that with a person that is fallen leading below the anchor, and you can reach the rope, you have to do all these things again. So block the rope in a reverso because you are belaying the leader. Transfer it with a prosec to the anchor. Release the rope from the reverso. But then instead of fixing the rope, you will just put back rope on the reverso on the anchor in the auto block mode. If you catch what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Let me show you then. So.
What is this red carabiner? It's a bolt, or is it like the quick draw, or what it is?
Yeah, this is the point where the leader fall. Yeah, so let's say it's a quick draw. Yeah, maybe it will be easier to see. We have some shorter one. Maybe this is easier to understand. Yeah, so this is how it looks. Okay, I'll use this one. Okay, so this is how it looks like when your partner fell down seconding, or after transferring it to the anchor when it's the leader falling, but below the anchor, you put it back into the reverso. So this is that point when you have it already in reverso, and now you want to pull it. You want to pull it up. So the usual way of building a system for pulling is to add a prusik knot. Again, you can improvise prusik in different ways, as we already show. Make it as short, this loop, make it as short as possible, because the shorter the loop is, then you have a longer arm to pull it. You put the, let's say, carabiner inside, and then the usual way of pulling is this. You just have to pull. But in real situation, this is quite hard. This is quite hard. Yeah. So the little bit. So there are a few ways how to make it easier. But the more complicated it is, then it takes more time and it's not so efficient. For instance, you can build another prusik here through the carabiner, another prusik a lot of times, but each time you pull, you just centimeter by centimeter. So the most efficient way is to build, we call it Swiss system of pulling, and this is by just adding another arm to the system. If you don't have enough carabiners, you can just put it here, and then instead of pulling the prusik directly, you pull this sling.